and now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questioning, and it will be strictly enforced on me, and then strictly enforced on the ranking member, Dean Phillips, too, and even Kathy Manning. But as we begin, I really want to assure you that as there may be some appearance of non-bipartisanship, there is bipartisanship. And as you're going to be, I think, seeing substantially, great concern about the threats that exist and the oppression of the people of Iran. We should be working together. And in fact, Ms. Elena Jad, a question that we have, or a point I want to make, the world is so inspired by the Iranian people in their pursuit of basic human dignity, the 4,000 protests, I mean, and then sadly, every time we turn around, the number of persons murdered increases. And you have to put that in context too. These substantially young people who their families have lost a dear person in their family, and so the moms and dads, the grandparents, the siblings, how horrific is this? It's critical that those who value human rights recognize the importance of not supporting the dictators materially. President Trump had successful maximum pressure campaign which denied resources to the regime. How can we support a policy of maximum support for the people of Iran as they are bravely pursuing political change and reversal of the oppression? And how could the passage of the Massa Act have positive impact on those risking their lives for freedom in Iran?
Thank you so much. First of all, I have to say that Massa Act actually gave hope to Iranian people that finally, we see bipartisan bill to try to actually isolate the killers. But let me be very, very honest with you. Now the United Nations actually became a place to unite the dictators from all over the world. So for that, we need actually the US government to take strong action, and here you can help us a lot. That how come that the members of the Ayatollahs, the relative of those who say death to America, they are here. But we cannot get a visa for the family members of those innocent protesters who got killed. We cannot get medical visa for those women and men who systematically got blinded by the Revolutionary Guards. And another thing is that the Revolutionary Guards itself is on the terrorist list by the United States of America when, the maximum pressure was applied by Trump administration. But believe me, the US government should have one policy towards Iran. Doesn't matter whether Trump is in power or Biden is in power, Obama is in power. You have to call your allies to designate Revolutionary Guards as a terrorist organization. This is how you can help Iranian people who get killed in the streets.
And thank you very much, Ms. Elena Jad. And as you have specific examples of denial of visas or whatever, I'm confident that members, our office would be happy to try to assist, okay?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And so, Mr. Teleblu, U.S. partners in the region who oppose Iran seem to be rehabilitating its only ally in the region, mass murderer and drug kingpin Bashar al-Assad. What do they hope to achieve in being given Assad is firmly entrenched with Iran and hosts permanent air and naval bases of the Iranian ally, war criminal Putin?
It's a great question, sir, and it dovetails very nicely with, I think, what Norm Wool was talking about a little bit earlier. In essence, there is no way, in my view, to separate the Assad regime in Syria from the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran. It's been tried diplomatically several times. It has all been to folly. Every time the Assad regime has used that to buy political space, diplomatic space, and even economic breathing space. So it's simply a lifeline to the Assad regime in Syria. That's, discretionary note number one. Number two, I would say, is that look at what U.S. partners in the region are doing. After about 10 to 15 years, in their view, many of the GCC and other countries, in their view of America's failure to contain, deter, and roll back Iran, they are beginning to slowly hedge towards Iran. Not that they're becoming pro-Iranian overnight, certainly not. Gulf Cooperation Council states like Saudi Arabia, UAE, and whatnot still deserve strong American support, full stop. But the reason this hedging is occurring is because they feel that unless they increasingly, even if not just politically, need to accommodate Tehran more, if they don't do that, they will have more Iranian targets and more Iranian proxy targets on their back, not less. So they're doing things to kind of win brownie points, you could say, for Tehran. And in essence, they're trying to avoid the pressure that the regime is putting on them. We have to recognize this. We have to do better in our military, economic, and political pushback of the Islamic Republic and stop the rehabilitation of the Assad regime.
And indeed, this is another area of bipartisanship. As we were on the delegation just 3 weeks ago and working together, and we, with your suggestions and all of you, we shall proceed.